In this video, we'll turn a low-end phone into a gaming PC. My device has 6GB of RAM and just an old Snapdragon 732G chipset. I know it sounds impossible, but it is possible. So how are we gonna do it? Well, we'll get to that, just wait for a while. You know directly it is impossible to play PC games on Android. So how can we make it possible? So for that, we'll use an app called Winlator. Basically what it does is set up a virtual environment that enables you to play PC games. Now to do so, you need three things: Winlator, the game you wanna play, and some settings. Settings varies device to device, and if you got a pretty good device, you might be able to run most games with default settings. So in this video, we'll set up Winlator and try some games to see how well it works. I guess that is enough talk for the intro. Let's jump directly into the video. Open Winlator, head over to the settings, and here are the settings. Now these aren't the best but are enough to run the container. Later we'll also look at the settings as per the game, but for now you can just copy it or just let it be default whatever it is in your device. If you are done with this, go to container and click on plus icon. You will get this interface. Now these are my default settings. You can check it out if you want. I kept everything as default except my startup selection that is present in the advanced tab, and I set it to aggressive. Once you are done with the setup, tap on the checkmark icon and then you will find a play option. Click on it. It will take a moment to load, and congrats, your container has executed. But the catch is that it is still not perfect to handle games yet. Even though it is not perfect, let's learn how to make a shortcut so you can run game directly through the shortcut tab from the app instead of opening the container again and again. Here, go to the D drive, which is nothing but your download folder. Make sure to dump your games in it. You can even create a folder in it if you want and then put your games. Well, anyways, that doesn't matter. Open your game folder and create a shortcut of the game file. But what game file? Don't be confused. It is usually mentioned in the readme file in your game folder telling you which file to execute. Once you know, move the arrow over that file and tap with two fingers at once and a drop down menu will appear. Just choose create shortcut, and now whenever you wanna run the game, just open Winlator and head over to the shortcut tab and execute it in a single click. A lot of times you may need to configure settings for most of the game to get the best amount of FPS possible, but if you got a device with solid chipset, it might be an exception. Also, you can search on YouTube like Winlator and your device name to see how your device performs while running game. Now I actually tried 4 games out of which only 3 ran. I tried Far Cry 3 and it was disappointing as it didn't even start. In the previous version it's used to work, but now I don't know what's the issue. Next I tried Tomb Raider and then Assassin's Creed Rogue, and the last game nearly blasted my device. Stick to the video till the end to find more about it. So it is time to jump and try our first game, and that is Tomb Raider. The first thing we need to do is to go to the settings. Now in here I have set the box 64 preset to intermediate. On YouTube a lot of guys have set it to performance and that works for them, but for me this works better. Once done with that, it is time to open your container setting, and here I just made one change. In the advanced section in CPU affinity, I unchecked the first 2 options and I have set everything as default. You can even copy my settings if you want. Now it is time to see whether my game will work or not. Just letting you know, I have already created a shortcut for my game, and still if you don't know how to create one, you must have skipped the video. So I will run my game directly from the shortcut tab, and here you can see the gameplay. The FPS I know is not the best, but what can you expect from my device that is on a verge of extinction? I actually forgot to mention, before you start a new game, set the settings to low to get the best amount of FPS possible. Coming back to the gameplay, the FPS I'm getting is around 10 to 15. Is the game playable? Of course not, it is stuttering a lot. If you got a decent smartphone, not with a flagship chipset but somewhere in between, you might be able to get better FPS than mine. And now it's time to run our next game, and that is Assassin's Creed Rogue. Again, open the Winlator settings, and in box 64 presets you can duplicate your performance attributes by clicking this option and tap on edit and copy my settings if you want. Just a little reminder, just because it worked for me, it doesn't mean it will work for you also. Now once you are done with that, open your container setting, and here is my container settings. You can pause the video and take a look at it and try it if you want. And just like the previous game, open the container and create a shortcut. I have already done it, so I'll go to the shortcut and run the game. And here you can see I'm getting around 12 to 18 FPS, and if I stop my recording, it even goes to 20 FPS. Indeed better performance than the previous one, and the gameplay here was much smoother. And as I mentioned, my device isn't that great. Even getting this is already amazing. The last game that made my device go crazy is Tom Clancy's Splinter Cell Conviction, and forgive me guys, I don't have any settings for it and you'll get it in a while why. When I first started this game, it went so smooth. I was nearly getting 25-30 FPS and I don't know what happened, my FPS started dropping and it just didn't drop. It went as low as 2-3 FPS, then 1 and finally 0. After that, here you can see the recording from my other phone. The FPS was fluctuating a lot, and not just that, this game made my phone heat intensely, draining my battery at crazy rate. That my phone battery went from 30% to 10%, but then suddenly it goes from 9% to 1% in a second. I was terrified for a moment, but after charging it, it worked fine. So it went through a lot. At least drop a like for it. And that is all about our today's video. I hope you find it helpful or interesting. If you did, you can help us by leaving a like, dropping a comment, and even subscribing for more content like this. I'll see you on the next one. Till then, take care and bye bye.